Hello Year 2, it's Miss Moore here with Monday's maths lesson. Now today everybody is going to be using the same video. So as a warm-up, can we practice counting in twos? Now you might just want to practice counting in twos as a number sequence. You might want to write it down. You might want to write down the multiplication number sentences for the 2 times table for counting in twos, or you might want to practice jumping along the number line in twos. So pause your video here and have a go at practicing counting in twos in different ways. Okay, so today's maths lesson, we are learning to identify odd and even numbers. So for the beginning of today's lesson, you're going to need some counters or some objects to make a number and share them into equal groups and seeing if this can help you decide whether a number is odd or even. So it doesn't need to be counters, it could be stones or beads or pieces of pasta, just something that you can move around and share into equal groups. And the biggest number that you're going to be using is 20. So pause the video while you go and find your bits and pieces. Okay, so I'm going to have a go here. I'm going to do the number 3. So I'm going to use 3 counters and I'm going to split them into 2 equal groups. One for me, one for Mrs. Halligan. Oh, this one, it can't go here because then I have more, and it can't go here because Mrs. Halligan will have more. Oh, so there's an odd one out. So that means that the number 3 is an odd number. So I would pop it here because we don't have an equal amount in each group. Okay, let's have a look at the number 2. Can I share the number 2 between Mrs. Halligan and myself? So one for me, one for Mrs. Halligan. Do we get the same amount each? Yes, we do. So there we go. 2 is even. Now, another way that you could do this, if we look at the number 3 again, is you could put them into pairs and see if there's an odd one out. So I've got 1, 2, I've got a pair, oh, and an odd one out. I'm going to try it with another number that's not on your screen. So the number 5. So pair, a pair, oh, and an odd one out. But if I had the number 6, can you see how they've all got a pair, which means that the number 6 would be even. So pause your video and finish sorting the numbers as to whether they are odd or whether they are even, and have a think, can you spot any patterns? Right, now you've all had a go at sorting the numbers, I'm going to reveal the answers. So 3, 9, 15 and 17 are all odd. 2, 6, 14, 18, 20 are all even. Now I wonder, did anybody spot any patterns? Well done if you did. So all of these numbers link back to our starter today because they're all from our 2 times table. It's all counting in twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So if I have a look at the bottom here, I have written all of my numbers to 20, and in blue are all of my even numbers, but they also happen to be all of my numbers where I'm counting in twos from the 2 times table. Now you might have also spotted the pattern with the ones digit in each of these numbers. So let's have a look at, here we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, and a 0. Look, the ones 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. So when we are looking at whether a number is odd or whether a number is even, we need to look at the ones digit. We don't need to worry about the tens, it's the ones that we're looking at. And if it ends with 0 ones, 8 ones, 6 ones, 4 ones, or 2 ones, then the number is even. Now you might want to remember that pattern today because all of your work is linking to odd and even numbers. So here's a little question for you to have a go at. Which number pieces are odd? So we've got some pictures of some Numicon here. Explain why. Can you find or draw other odd and even pieces? So I know that we've used Numicon a lot at school, so I'm sure that lots of you can draw what the different numbers look like. What do you notice? So pause your video here and have a go at working out the answer and showing me some different ways. Okay, well done to everybody who had a go at that. And I'd love to see some photographs of what you have drawn for this part of the challenge. So if we have a look at this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can see that 5 is odd. And I know that because this one here is on its own. It doesn't have a partner, it doesn't have a pair. Whereas if we look at the number 6 here, each set of holes in my Numicon has a pair. We've got 2, 4, 6. So let's have a look at the number 3 here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. And I can see that here, this one is odd because it doesn't have a pair. So I wonder what other numbers you managed to find and you drew. Okay, here's another little challenge for you to have a look at. Spot the mistakes. So we've got a grid with odd and even, and we've got lots of different numbers and different representations. This one here is a 50p coin. I know it's quite tricky to see on the computer. Can you spot the mistakes that someone has made here? So pause your video and have a look. Then can you add your own odd and even sets? Okay, so we know that 1 is odd because it's 1 on its own. We know that 9 is odd because it's not in the 2 times table. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It misses out 9, so that one's okay. Number 6, I can draw this one. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They all have a pair, so it must be even. I'll just go back over that a little bit more clearly because those dots came up very small. So they've all got a pair. So the number 6 isn't odd. It's a mistake. It should be over here in the even side. Oh, we've got the number 5 here. I can see that this one is on its own, so it must be an odd number. The number 3 is actually being represented in 2 ways here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and also the number 3. Let's see if these bead string beads can be put into pairs. So we have 2 together here. Oh, and 1 on its own, so it must be odd. It's okay where it is. And so our final one to look at is the number 50 with our 50p. Now I have actually used the Numicon here to make 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now if we look, each of our pieces of 10 are made up of 2s, and they have all got pairs all the way down. We've got 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and it's the same on all 5 pieces of 10, sorry. So that means that the number 50 is in fact even. So that's another mistake that's on here. So let's have a look at these even numbers and see if there are any mistakes here. So the number 4, oh, they've all got a partner. They're fine. The number 8, let's see if we can count in 2s up to the number 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, we can. So that one's okay. And the number 10, oh, now we've looked at a 10 down here. So we know they've got 2s in the number 10. So we're okay. We'll just double check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then we've got the number 6 down here. Now we've already spotted on this side that the number 6 was in fact even. So we know that they're okay here. And I can see there's 3 here and 3 here. It is equal on each side. So it must be an even number. Then we've got the number 30. Now I can see that there are 3 sticks of 10. And I have made those here again with my Numicon, and I can see that each of the 10s is made up of 5 pairs of 2. They've all got a partner, so 30 is in fact even. And my final one is the number 25, which I have made again using Numicon at the bottom. Oh, those are all in 2s. Those are all in 2s. But the number 5, we've got 2 here, 2 here, and 1 on its own, which means that the number 25 is in fact odd. So that's a mistake. Now you could pause the video here and see if you can make your own odd and even sets. Maybe you could draw them in different ways using bead strings, Numicon, numbers, words, and your tens and ones. Okay, next part today. True or false? These numbers are correctly sorted. 27, 32, 45 are odd. 36, 40 and 14 are even. So pause the video and have a look to see which one or which ones may be incorrect. Right, so I'm going to reveal the answer. 36, 40 and 14 are all even because they end in 0, 4 and 6, which are all in our 2 times table, counting in twos. But 32 ends in a 2, so it must be in the 2 times table. So it belongs here in the even sorting hoop. So that was the one mistake. Well done if you correctly spotted that. So today, what am I looking for? I'm looking to see if you can identify odd and even numbers. So can you spot them? I can solve problems and reason about odd and even numbers. So you can solve a problem and explain your thinking involving odd and even numbers. And then the final one is I can solve a more complex problem because our problems get gradually trickier today. So if you are normally doing the easier level of maths with the 1 star at the top, this is what your sheet will look like today. And you've got a whole range of different activities, including your own challenge at the end. And if you are doing the main and challenge activities with the 2 and the 3 star at the top, you've got a whole range of problems to do today, including quite a tricky challenge at the end, and you need to read it really, really carefully to be able to work it out. Some of these questions need a bit of thinking about, and you might need to try it out a few times to work it out, especially this one here, where you need to balance it. It's no good just picking 2 numbers and picking another 2 numbers. Your seesaw must be balanced, so it must equal the same amount on each side. Don't forget to explain how you know in this box for question 2. So good luck with your maths today, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of the lovely photos sent in